Today's video is going to be my last review on the Tilly and the Buttons Make It Simple book. Sorry, you guys. Oh my gosh. And I'm going to be reviewing the olive... God. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be reviewing the last pattern in the Tilly and the Button Make It Simple book, and that's going to be the olive pinafore. Before we get started real quick, I do have a question to ask you all. When I was editing the last couple of videos, I noticed that you could see the reflection of the lights in my glasses, and I found that a little bit distracting, so that's why I took them off for this video. So if you guys can just let me know, does it bother you guys when you can see the lights in my glasses, or are you kind of okay with that? Just let me know in the comments below. Okay, so to get started, the olive pinafore, like I said, it's the last one in the book, and it comes with like 4 versions or like kind of options. So you have this one, which is the one that I made, and then you also have the option to add pockets. And then if you don't like the V-neck of the pinafore, she shows you an option for the round, to make it a round neck. And then the last option you have is a waist tab. Okay. So I measured at a size 3 for the bust and the waist, and then the 4 at the hip, and that's what I made, and it fits me pretty well. For the amount of ease that you get, it looks like you get 4.5 inches of ease in the bust. The waist, you have 8 inches, and then for the hips, it's 6 inches of wearing ease. So I made this in a corduroy fabric from Fabric Godmother. If you have pets, I do not recommend corduroy because their hair sticks to this like a magnet. It's crazy. I'm constantly lint rolling myself. But yeah, so the corduroy is from fabricgodmother.com. I'm wearing it with a Rowan bodysuit by Megan Nielsen. And I picked this fabric up from Fancy Tiger Crafts. This was a few years ago. And then also for the snaps, I bought this little hardware kit from Fabric Godmother. It's by Prim. So this was actually really handy. And it worked well. So when I made the muslin for this pinafore, I made the size, 3 at the top and 4 at the bottom, and it fit me really well. I didn't have any issues. And then after I made it in this fabric, in the corduroy, it's a little strange. It ended up being a little bit bigger on me, and so because of that, my waist starts right here. They're more towards like right here instead of in the center, so I don't know if you guys can see that. It creates a little bit of a pucker at the bottom right here, so that's just something to be mindful. I don't know if it's because I used 2 different fabrics. This one was a little bit bulkier, so I'm not sure why it ended up sewing up bigger. If you guys can give me some feedback, if you know why that does that, I would like to know. And then also, because it ended up being bigger, I had to move the snaps over, so I have 2 sets of snaps. Which I'm actually okay with. I told my husband that this was going to be my Thanksgiving dress, and he thought it was funny because I can start it off over here being smaller, and then as I eat like my weight in turkey and green bean casserole, I can always re-snap it and to the second snap right here. So it's a little bit bigger and it's still kind of covered. So if I have any friends out there trying to figure out what they want to wear to Thanksgiving, and you're tired of wearing stretchy pants, make this with 2 snaps and you're good to go. Sorry, these dogs are crazy today. Okay. Yes, Peanut, I love you. This pinafore, you finish it with a facing, which is not my favorite. I don't like facings. That's because I don't like how they like pop out, and this one does. So when I put this on, I have to like reach behind my back here and like pull it down while I'm like trying to, get dressed. That way it doesn't pop out the back like it's kind of doing now. And I'm sorry, you guys, if Peanut's distracting you. She's She's a beast. Okay. So, I thought about just finishing this with like bias binding, but I wasn't exactly sure how to do that because I think you need the facing as like an extra layer for your snaps. So the facing kind of goes all the way down here, up around your neckline and along your armholes. So I think that you need this extra set of fabric for the snaps to make it a little bit thicker and sturdier. I could have just probably, interfaced here, but it may not have looked as nice. So if you guys know, do you need a facing when putting on snaps? Let me know, because if you don't, I may find a way to not do the facing because I really don't like it. Okay, and something about this pattern I want to, I guess, I don't want to say warn, but if you are brand new to dressmaking and you want to like make this garment, I would hold off and not make this the very first one that you make, and that's just because the finishing of the armholes with the facing is kind of imaginative. Like, I would not have thought to finish a facing like this. I found it to be complicated and a little bit fussy, I'm not gonna lie, you guys. So I had a real hard time finishing it just using the pictures. Couldn't figure it out. So Tilly did make a video on her blog, and I'll link that video in the description box. That way you guys can, I guess, kind of look at it first and see, I don't know if pregame is the word to use, but to kind of pregame it to where you can like look to see how it's finished and then see if that's something that you want to do, or if you know of a different way to finish armhole facings, to do it that way. So because like I said, I found it difficult and it took me quite a few tries to figure it out. So basically the basis of it is you have to like grab the fabric for the front part of your armhole, flip it inside out, but also pull some of it down through like this portion of it, and then stitch it, flip it back right side out, then go to the back side of the armhole, pinch the fabric, turn it inside out, pull it through this portion, and then stitch it, and it was very complicated. So I can't really explain it because I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just gonna link that video down below so you guys can watch it and figure out if that's something that you want to, you know, deal with or not. So that was the only thing that I found very difficult about this pattern, because other than that it's pretty simple, but finishing the armholes the way that the instructions are written, I found very difficult. And that was the hardest part for me for finishing this garment. So it says it takes about 2 hours and 45 minutes for sewing, to finish this garment. And I did it in about 2 hours and 16 minutes, and the majority of that time was 1, finishing the armholes, and 2, putting in the snaps. So other than that, everything else was pretty straightforward. You just have your front pieces, you put some waist darts in it, you have your back piece, sew the shoulder seams, sew the side seams, and then finish it with the facing. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I would say make a muslin first, but I did that and it still came up bigger than what the muslin did. So if you guys have any insight onto how that happens, please let me know so I don't make that mistake in the future and I'm not stuck like, wasting snaps. But like I said, it worked out in the end because now I have a Thanksgiving dress. And yeah, that's kind of all I have for you today. I'm going to be making my video on my final thoughts on this book, and I would like to get that done sometime this weekend so I can have it up for you guys. So please, if you have any questions about the book as a whole, leave those down below in the comments for me. That way I can answer them for you, and I'll be seeing you next week. Bye!